Well guys, I'm going to start on this table vise. Take it apart and clean it, and see where it goes from there. Oh, that's tight. One, I'm recording this to make a video, and two, I'm recording it to remember how to put it back together. Sometimes you get carried away and you forget. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to paint this thing red. Aha, we have a problem? Ooh. Maybe I don't want to do that. Why don't that want to come out? Maybe I have to clean that bottom, that thread on top to get it out. I better stop right there. Take the rest of this apart. I'm not a big fan of square nuts. I've, over the years when I was a kid, stripped them all the time. I don't know about you guys. I'm just glad it, when I bought this, came with the original mounting hardware. It's kind of cool. Said you don't usually run across old square nuts like this. Uh-oh. I said this little vise like this, most people would never think of using it, but if you ever use one like this, set it on the table, have a good permanent spot, you'll like it, trust me. This thing, especially if you're cutting a piece of pipe or an odd shaped, like oval or triangular piece of item, a pipe or anything like that, it's just great to have. And these things are cheap. Usually cheap. The way the prices have gone up lately, you can't find things like what you want. This nut's got a burr on it. Huh. Clean it up just a little bit. It's got a burr on one side of it. For some reason the wrench won't fit on one side. Actually, I don't think this thing is very dirty. I think it's more of the just sitting. It must have been sitting in someone's, like on a top shelf or something somewhere, because it's just kind of dusty. I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna, what color I'm gonna use on it. Definitely gonna use that truck bed liner on this, on some of it anyways. Clean it up. Make sure everything's good and free. Have to clean the threads up on these too. They does not want to really go together real well. I'm going to have to clean every thread, re-tap them. I don't even remember. These are cheap wrenches. I don't know where I got them. Upland, USA. Huh, never seen that before. Yeah, these threads are boogered up a little bit. It's alright, fix that. I might even have to fire up my sandblaster just to try. I haven't used it in a while. Got a Harbor Freight sandblaster and I'm not fond of it. Do not like it. Didn't work very well from the very beginning. Okay. Boy, yeah, I don't want to go back together very well. The nuts, every one of them kind of... Oh, wait a second. I still got to take this apart. Yeah, I believe this is a Holland. And I can't find much information on Holland, so... I do remember when I was a kid, I saw one that's called, it was Holland. That's why I think this is a Holland vise. I don't want to peen that out. I don't take that rivet out because that will be a booger to peen back. Some of you old timers know about peening rivets. I'm not good at, I'm not even going to try it. I'm just going to clean that, leave it the way it is. I'm going to clean this thread so I can get it out. Try one more time. Let's see what, see if I can see something here. What's causing it to... Shouldn't. I'd like to take it all apart so I can get it good and clean. Boy, that thread's good on there though. Huh. Wonder what's causing that. Alright, well, let me clean a little bit of this off with some carb cleaner. I'm wondering, just out of curiosity. We'll see what's on these teeth. Yeah, I thought there was some writing. I remember something back in the day, there was writing on some of these. There's a little bit on there. Rigid makes a set of these, I know. They're kind of expensive. Most people don't use these unless they're a pipe fitter or a plumbers. There again, pipe fitter. A lot of your plumbers will use these. You'll see some of these similar on the back of a pickup or a work bed, back of a truck. He said if you can't afford a vise, this is about the next best thing. Used to, when I was younger, I used one of these a lot. Just a good handy little unit. Alright, I'll clean up this a little bit. I'll show some on the wire wheel and then we'll go from there. I cleaned up do have markings on them. The teeth are in really good shape for being 100 years old or older. It's you can see the 6. I think when they make these, they stamp all these and stick them in a just a bin, and then when they put them together, they grab the parts. But I was kind of fascinating on the. You can see the holes aren't drilled uniformly. I'm not sure what they use. Almost like a cutting torch. The holes are. I don't know. They're not drilled out like perfectly. Got the drill bit. The casting marks. You know, it's kind of cool. Just old piece of equipment. Just fascinating that I wish it could talk. The history it could tell. And the smell of the dirt on this reminds me of an old garage. It was in somebody. It has old motor oil. I don't think this was used in a plumbing shop. This vise was used in a automotive setting. If you've been around an automotive shop, you'll understand what I'm saying. It's the dirt and the oil mixed together. It's a cologne, as you might say, I guess. Anyways, I just thought I'd add that in there. It's kind of cool, just seeing a little piece of history. I own it now, which I think I paid like $10 for this little vise, but it's a very good, useful vise. Anyways, get back to cleaning. I'm working on the bolts on that table vise, and got a couple to just. I may have to put this in the vise. Yep. Threads are boogered up just a little bit. It's supposed to be 1/4-20. It goes crooked every time I try to start it. Actually, looks like I got it started and I didn't really mean to. Something's not right. It feels like I'm recutting all the threads. I had to go buy a new nut. Yeah, it's 1/4-20. Because my vacuum system picked it up and sucked it outside. I didn't mean to, it just, that vacuum on it, I was cleaning the nut off, and it just chunked it outside. I can't find it because my ductwork goes outside, and of course the grass is brown and dirty. I was just going to clean up each one of these nuts. A couple of them were boogered up pretty good. And I'm not sure what size it is. It's not, I don't know if it's not standard. It's not metric, and it's not standard threads, but I know around the turn of the century that they had a lot of nuts and bolt thread types that we don't deal with this now. Back then there was kind of Wild West. They didn't, the threading was not standard. And I can't remember when they started making thread standard. I think it was like 1919 or 1923 or something like that. So this is possibly, the heads of these bolts are possibly or this whole thing is possibly older than I think it is. Anyways. Probably should have put this in the vise. Yeah, I got it in my hand. Don't use this kit very often. And that's something I'm on the lookout for, is one of these thread kits, because they're expensive. Good ones are. They are, man, they're high dollar. So anytime I find loose taps or threaders, I pick them up. They're just so high now. It's funny that it's so high because most people don't use these anymore. They don't even, most people don't know how to use a thread kit. Tap and die kit. I call it a thread kit. And seriously, most people don't even know how to use it. I mean, we used back in the day, if we worked on an engine, we always cleaned our threads before we put them back in. We always cleaned our threads. That was just one of those things you had to do. Clean the threads out with some carburetor cleaner. Oh yeah, you can feel the threads are sharp now. Yeah, anytime you worked on a mower or motor or anything, brush hog, whatever, oops, you would before you put the bolts back together or put anything back together, you run a tap and die, clean everything up, put it back together. A little anti-seize or a little oil. I don't know if I'll put this in the video or not, but I was just going to say that bear repeating, if you run across any tap and dies, oddball ones, just used, of course, unless they're totally rusted out, pick them up. These things are very, very valuable. Very useful if you know how to use them. Said we, when I was a kid, even after I might grow up a little bit, I still use them. I take a mower apart, take bearings out or something, I clean all my threads back up. Okay, that one's good. That one's good. Yeah, this one should be pretty good. That's the one I just cut, I think. Come on, you started just a few minutes ago. I got you in there. I'm having difficulties. What the heck? Got a little debris in there. There it goes. I just had a nick in it. And then this fits just fine, threads just fine. Oh yeah, we're good. Let's see, big nut. That one goes on this one. Oh, this one needs to be, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's flat spots on those threads there. That one's boogered up pretty good. I'll put that in the vise. Actually, it looks like the bolt's bent. You realize that bolt's bent. Check that out. Okay, I'll clean that up. I just wanted to show a little bit of cleaning some threads and let you guys know that if you run across any tap and dies, there again, even though you don't need it now, you pick them up, because one, they're getting expensive, and two, if you only use it one time, it pays for itself. And the way nuts and bolts and screws are costing right now, I just bought a box of, I don't know, 3-inch wood screws, deck screws. Man, they were expensive. Just surprised at the cost. But anyways, I'll just show you that. I'll get on this and then I'll try to put it back together. All right, guys. Time to put this thing back together. The problem is I don't remember. So, I'm going to guess. I did not pull this out. For some reason, this point right here coming out, it was literally damaging the threads, and I cannot see what's causing, and I didn't want to mess up. I didn't want to have to take this apart and re-thread this part because I do not have a tap that big. Well, I say that. I didn't want to take a chance. It's Saturday afternoon, and the only place in my community that might have a tap that fits that closes at noon. So, I didn't want to take a chance. I'm going to leave the hardware, the bolts, the nuts and bolts, just plain metal. I had to re-tap them, clean up the threads. I did use a file. I used a file on the ends of the heads. Like I said, these bolts are old, and they're not metric and they're not SAE. So these are old hardware, old hardware. Now, my dummy self has to figure this out. I believe the small one here, that went together like so, and this went through the center there. I believe. Could be wrong. Probably what I need to do is put some Loctite on these. Yeah, that might be a good idea. Let's dry fit everything first. I like this red, if you guys haven't noticed. This sunrise red. I like the way it stands out. Looks good. Plus, my tools, my rules. Uh-oh, too much paint. Yep. Yeah, I shouldn't have painted it. Oh. Plus, the gap. Yep, I shouldn't have painted it. Well, that stinks. That's all right. It'll be all right. Oh. There it goes. Man, wouldn't have thought, but I should have known. I've had this happen at work before where we went and painted something that wouldn't have thought it's mic that close, so. Almost there. We got it. We got her. think I'm gonna go put the numbers on the inside because it looks like the numbers were here on this inside part. Like that. Huh. Wouldn't have thought these might go just a certain way and only a certain way. I didn't realize there's a burr right here on this one. Sure enough is like a welding burr. Well, I'll be yep. It's like a welding burr. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a spot right there. Well, that's different. It's always something. That's all right. Now, where's my... Oh, I got a pair of pliers around here I need to work with. This wheel's bad on his anyways. Doesn't take long to wear out them wheels. Now, put this little... Turn it down low. Yeah, it did all that work, nice and pretty, and then to go beat it up again. For some reason, one of these fits just a certain way. They designed a certain, that is a mill mark, isn't it? Can't believe the paint took that much. Nope, it's the mill mark. It's designed and milled a certain way. Well, I never would have noticed that. It is tapered. It is tapered. I'll be darned. Okay, learned something today. That fits that way better. I'm wondering if it turns around this way. It's the same, but they are tapered. Actually, no, it's not. This one fits better this way. Okay. Bolt through. I mean, I could have left it dirty the way it is and used it the way it was, but I don't know. I like clean product, clean item. I'm so used to my facility I work in, everything has to be cleaned. You just can't leave things. I don't know how to explain it except it can't be dirty. Everything has a spot, everything has to be cleaned. I mean, we have the public is everywhere where I work. You can't, and that's another thing, you can't really leave things lying around. And I don't know how to describe it, except you just have to be careful with your tools. Unless you're working in the boiler plant or something like that, everything, got to be real careful with what you do. It's not that they'll steal or take anything. Hell, I've had, actually I believe I've had a battery and a battery charger stolen by an employee. Well, that works great. I'm wondering, just a little dab. It'll go down the threads. Well, this stuff's 3-in-1 oil is so. Okay, so it goes down in. Okay. I don't have a small piece of round pipe. I'd stick it in there and see what it. Now, really need to pivot on this side like this, because you can raise this up. Oh, now I've got to clean the paint. I've got to clean the paint. I got it too tight. Oh, that stinks. You should be able, the idea is you can undo the bolt, you can turn this around if you're left or right-handed, I guess. But yeah, I really don't need to though. That paint is stuck on there. Man, I wouldn't have thought. There it goes. I'm gonna have to clean this area under here. I can leave it like that, because I can slip whatever I want through there. Kind of like that. I don't want to mess up my handle on that though. You know, I don't have an old piece of pipe anywhere. Oh, wait a second. I have something. I got to make a training video on this stuff. Right there. Flush valve, Sloan flush valve. Hold it right in there. You can work on it what you want. I don't have it very tight, but that'll work. All right. Hang on, let me put it over on the edge of the table. Show you what I plan on doing with it. All right, guys. This is where it's going to sit on the table. That's my my bench grinder, my 6-inch with my wire wheel, and that's my Scotch-Brite pad. And there's the other bench grinder. I don't use this very often. It reminds me, I got to dress that wheel. My polishers are over there, and then I got a vise on this other end, which I don't use this vise very often, but it's there. But it's right where it's at. It'll work, because I could run a piece of pipe across the tabletop and actually work from here or whatever I'm using. And I'm gonna cut some small pieces of leather and put in here and here, so if I need to hold a hammer, that's what I'm gonna do with it. And I didn't think about it. Oh man, them bolt holes are right. I'm about to put a piece of 2x4 under there, because it misses, just touches the 2x. So I have to put another block of wood up underneath there. Bolt it. Anyways, that's where it's going to sit. That's where it's at. I mean, this, I may have said this before in another video, but this shop table, I think it's a 4x5. with the orange bench grinder. I bought that table with the wheels on it off the marketplace for 40 bucks, 40 bucks, 40 or 50. Anyways, great buy. There's $100 plus in lumber in the silly thing. But yeah, it makes a good spot for that. Don't know how this video will turn out. My editing skills sucks anyway, so I'll just post what I got. Some of you guys kind of like this stuff. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, give me a thumbs up if you like it. If you don't like my video, tell me why. Anyways, subscribe if you would. Some of you got new ones that kind of want to see this, but I believe that is a Holland number 8, number 6 or number 8. It's marked 6 on everything, so I believe it's a Holland number 6. And I think it's really old on the old side, but it's still made well. I mean, it's usable. If you guys don't have a vise, those right there, they come in handy. They are great. And most people see them and don't use them, won't buy them because they don't think it's worth using. But they are great. So I think I bought it from the flea market, and I'm slim pickings. I bought 3 things. I think I got 18 bucks in all 3 items. Figure 8 to 10 bucks for that thing. You can put a lot of pressure on that and it'll hold. Like I said, when I was a kid, we slap pipe through that thing all the time and cut it off, cut the lengths we need. I think, oops, shoot, hang on, let me get a tape measure. I do not remember what size pipe, what's the largest? About 2.5, you can stick through there. 2 inch, I think this is a workings for 2 inch though. Yeah, I think it's working for 2 inch. So anything under 2 inch works great. Like I said, when I was a kid, I remember using them all the time, so almost everybody had them. Back in the day, all the plumbers had them on the back of their trucks. They had something like that, or a chain vise. That's similar to a chain vise. Chain vise, you could do just about anything with a chain vise. You can hold about anything. But if you find some of those, I'm pointing to it, sorry. If you find one of those somewhere, and if you can get it pretty cheap, buy it. I don't know what they're selling for online. I haven't really looked. I really don't care. I like what I got. I'm using it. So anyways, guys, I'm babbling again. Well, I hope you like what you see. Anyways, have a good evening.